major press conference yesterday with Governor Ron DeSantis, as well as the commissioner of Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred, and Ken Babby, our friend Babs, from the Tampa Bay Rays. And I took the time yesterday to just sit down and watch the entire, I think it was like 43 minutes, just really was curious to hear what was going to be said and what the tone was. Remember I said to you yesterday, I thought the tone was very important, Aaron. And to me, with the exception of the brief mention once again from Ron DeSantis that Orlando would love our baseball team. He did mention that again. I didn't love that. With the exception of that, I walked away extremely optimistic. I saw our friend Ken Hagan was quoted in the Tampa Bay Times as saying, "I've never felt as confident as I am right now." And I'm pretty much right there, Aaron. I think I'm a little bit like you in this way. Like I'm reluctant because of everything we've been through as a fan base and because we know what the price tag, the suggested price tag is. So that makes me very reluctant. But I'm also, after watching yesterday, I am very confident after what I thought was a very productive news conference.
It's very important that the governor is behind this. And Governor Ron DeSantis being behind this, gave me the most confidence. Listen, what's one of my favorite things in the world to do? Sports bet. If it wasn't for Governor DeSantis and Seminole Hard Rock coming together and making it happen, I don't know how it happened. I didn't get behind the scenes to look.
You don't even care how it happened. You just love that it happened.
Do not care. I remember somebody in some city was trying to screw it up, and you and I called them, and we're like, stop it. Stop trying to screw this up. I totally understand why. Like, I totally got it, why he was trying to screw it up, but I didn't want it selfishly screwed up. So when I heard Governor DeSantis yesterday teaming up with Rob Manfred and both their comments, now Babby, I like this ownership group just based on energy and just based on Babby alone.
Yeah, I love what he had to say yesterday.
Right. I really feel optimistic. When I hear him talking about wanting to stay in Tampa, wanting this to get done, wanting to grow and build this area, it sounds like what the model of what the Lightning have accomplished here in Tampa. But when we heard it from the previous ownership, it was like I kept calling it the boy who cried wolf. It just felt like the Rays were crying wolf. We heard the message over and over again, but I don't know by the end of it if I actually believed the message. When I hear Babby talk about it, Ken Babby, I actually believe the message. And when it comes to Ron DeSantis, Governor DeSantis yesterday, I thought he was made everyone very confident with what he said.
Absolutely. I do as well. And for me, I had this overwhelming feeling. Governor DeSantis spoke first, right? And then probably a minute or two into Rob Manfred starting to speak, who spoke after Governor DeSantis, I remember this overwhelming feeling of watching this press conference and thinking, the governor of the state, the commissioner of Major League Baseball are both here to lend support to our city maintaining Rays baseball. And I just thought to myself, there's zero chance. There is a 0% chance that press conference happens next to Stu Sternberg.
We never saw it.
And we never saw it, and we certainly never would see it moving forward. There would never be the kind of support there is right now to keep this team in Tampa Bay as we saw yesterday.
And here's Governor DeSantis yesterday.
I can simply say, and I would say this if I was a governor who had been raised in Key West or Miami or Jacksonville. I happen to be raised in Tampa Bay, but I think it's true, and I would think it was true. Baseball belongs in Tampa Bay. Baseball can succeed in Tampa Bay. And so we're here to say that, the state is going to be supporting this proposal to use this HCC location to be the site of the new stadium.
That's confidence. It sounds like someone who wants this to get done and believes in this to get done and will hopefully help out along the way where it's needed, where it's necessary, where we're not asking for too much, but we're asking for just enough to get this thing done.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's all we really got yesterday was a real vibe of confidence and belief in this project and belief in what this project can do for Tampa Bay. And that's where I am. Like, I not only want a new ballpark for all of us as Rays fans, but when I think about where it's going to be, what it's going to be, the way that it expands, the downtown area and or at least Tampa and makes it bigger and better in many ways outside of just the ballpark, I'm very much encouraged. But I love You know, I've been very critical of Rob Manfred in a lot of ways. I hated his hunk of metal comment back in the day about the World Series trophy. But if there's anything I love about Rob Manfred, it's the way that, for the most part, from what we've known, the way he's handled this situation from Stu Sternberg and the way that was going. And I feel like he was a leader in making sure that that ownership group is no longer here and that our new ownership group is here. But yesterday, again, he compounds that when he talks about his unwavering support and belief in this city.
One thing that has been consistent during my time as commissioner was my view that Major League Baseball belongs in Tampa Bay. That support has been, I hope, clear and unwavering. You know, the history of baseball here is really amazing. The governor talked about spring training, but, you know, from Al Lang Stadium to George M. Steinbrenner Field, this region, the Tampa Bay region, has been a crucial part of spring training.
He says he hopes that it's been clear how much he's supported this area. And I think that it has been, you know what I mean? And I remember saying after he made the comments about what we've been through with the hurricanes that came through here a couple years ago and really devastated much of this area and, of course, Tropicana Field. And he talked about how important it was to keep baseball here because of everything we've been through. And I'm like, it's awful hard to back off of those comments. Well, you know what? He hasn't. He hasn't backed off of those at all. He does continue to be unwavering in his support of keeping baseball in the city. And listen, I know it's because it's what's best for Major League Baseball, but I still appreciate it as a fan.
And we've heard everything going on in Orlando, and they're right. When they talked about it yesterday, talking about Orlando being a viable option, and they want to keep it here. They're doing everything they can to keep it here. And Rob Manfred was asked, like, is this the last chance for Tampa Bay? And it doesn't seem like Rob Manfred will let go of Tampa Bay, and I love that.
You know, I'm not big on predictions about last chance, more chances. I do think that the governor made an important point. You know, Florida is vibrant. There are alternatives in Florida. And I do think we're at a point in the history of the club that something needs to get done. But I would be hesitant to characterize it as, you know, it's this or never again.
We know that it needs to get done. So it's, you know, not surprised to hear that from him. There is a level of urgency here that we have all talked about, and we feel it. When there are other viable options in the state, and he's like, no, I'm not going to say it's the last chance. He's doing everything he can, even though it should be. Really, when it comes to it, let's be honest about it. This should be our last chance. We've every single opportunity and twist and turn. And if you can't get it done now here in Tampa with the new owners, with the support they're getting, then I'm feeling like it will never get done.
It's probably the case, right? And it would have been very easy for Rob Manfred to say that. And I think it would have been, like, he could even not believe that. He could think to himself, hey, if this falls through, there's another avenue in Tampa Bay, but still not say that yesterday, right? Like, there's a part of the negotiations that we see in these kind of things when it comes to a new ballpark or new stadium or whatever. There comes a time where people decide to play hardball and go, this is it. Get off your butts and get this thing done, or we're out. And it would have been very easy for Rob Manfred to say, you know what, yes, probably, if it doesn't happen now, it probably is going to go to Orlando. It probably will have to go somewhere else. It would have been very easy for him to say that just to make the point that it's time to figure it out. And he said it is time to figure it out, but he didn't go as far as to threaten us that they're going to leave, and I appreciate that again.
And the partnership between St. Petersburg, Pinellas County, and the old Rays ownership, it diminished over time to the point of no return, where it was just ugly at the end. Now you've got new ownership, and you're dealing with Hillsborough County in the city of Tampa, and that's where Rob Manfred really believes in this connection.
The key to the economic success of most franchises is a partnership between the community, the local government, and the team. And I really do believe that there is a great opportunity for this new ownership group to come together with local government, the college, and form the kind of partnership that can make the Rays durable and successful here in the Tampa Bay region.